Step 1, charging the battery pack. We're not going to do this, and I've said this before in previous videos, because we don't know at what point we're going to get to that step that this is required. I would rather wait until I'm a little closer before we do that. It's just the way I do things. So I'm not going to be doing that. So we're going to move into step 2, which is applying the sponge tape to the chassis. And the chassis, there are 2 parts, and they're quite big. And you'll find that when you grab these off the parts tree, they're actually quite heavy too. There's quite a bit of weight to these pieces. But I want to show you something quickly, because the way that this is attached, one of the tools that you'll need that I think you'll find very handy is a pair of side cutters, which look just like that. And you can see that the cutting surface is at one end, and then there's a flat spot. And because this is attached with pretty heavy duty plastic, just those spurs are quite large. It's more difficult if you were using a different tool. So I just want to show you how these get cut off, because I think you'll see just how handy a pair of side cutters can be. So as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots on the chassis that this is attached to the parts tree. So you could use an X-Acto, you could do other things, I'm sure, but I want to show you that if you grab your pair of side cutters, put it at the bottom so that it is exactly on basically the bottom of the chassis, and clip, you're done. You've managed to get that off the parts tree with pretty much ease, because it's just one snip and you're done. One snip and you're done. One snip and you're done. And again, lastly, let's grab this, one cut, and you're done. It's off the tree. So having a pair of side cutters is extremely handy, and I think you'll find other uses for it, and it'll save you a lot of time and hassle trying to chop them off. And you can see that it's pretty clean. I will still just go over it briefly just to see that I've done it and got a smooth enough cut, but for the most part, it's already pretty smooth. So that would be the easiest way to get those off the parts tree. And then you can use it for, all the other pieces that come off the parts tree as well. So now what we're going to do is go back into bag A, and we'll cut the bag open, and we'll get the sponge tape. So I'm just going to get all these pieces cut properly, and then we'll start attaching it to the chassis. Okay, so I've cut all of the sponge tape that came out of bag A into the correct sizes. All that was left over were these pieces here after cutting them all up. So let's install them. So if we were to do this side first, you can see that you put one on and then you put another one on top of that one. So I guess maybe without having a second or I guess a larger size piece of sponge tape, they've just said, well, use what you've got there and then double up on it. So we'll stick the one piece there, just like that, and we'll grab the other one, unstick it, and we're going to stick it on top of the one we just put down. Just like that. So you can see that the sponge tape, you can feel it. There's a lot more give, and I guess it's going to make sure that the battery will stay in place better than just having the one piece, and gives it a little bit more thickness, I guess. So same thing again, we're going to take this little piece, and you can see it's going to go on the back side right there. So we'll stick this onto here, just like that. So that side's done. So let's do the same on the other side. Grab this, grab our bodywork here, go right to the end as they show, the other piece, stick it on top of the piece we just put down. Come on. There we go. So again, we've got a double piece there, gives it some extra sponginess. And we're going to grab the little guy again, and we're going to stick it right there. So now you've got a front, or I should say the back sponge and the front, and the battery will sit longitudinally right there inside. So that is it for step 2. All we're doing is putting the sponge into the chassis. So now we can move on to step 3, and we're going to attach the sides of the chassis.